Mm.
What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. Hope you're ready to go. We got Alan in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Albert, Amy, Bill, Christopher. Good morning. We got Cindy, Jeff, Joe, Lucian, Marius, Martina, Michael. Good morning to Ray, T-Flow. Tim is in the house. All my people out in YouTube land. Daniel, good morning. All my lurkers in the background of YouTube. Just not gonna say nothing all day. It's okay. I still love you. Hit that like and subscribe button. Ronald's, good morning to you. Yeah. Somebody explain what happened. Somebody let me know. Type it out. What happened yesterday? Does anybody know? I'm not talking about news-wise, because we did have a sell-off. Pretty big sell-off yesterday. But does anybody know what happened? We had Trump at the UN. Market kind of survived Trump at the UN. He was going full blast on some countries. Market didn't care. He got done. Market started to come down. Anybody? It's on a technical basis. It's not news. No, no one. We got a little bit of a retest. Little bit of a retest yesterday. So all of the sell-off, and it seemed like it was pretty deep, and I was even like during the day, I was like, if we keep breaking down, we have a long way to go. Essentially, all we did was stay inside day candle, right? The trend bullish still intact. We opened right underneath a resistance, so we talked about that. We had to get some candles that started closing above 667.03 roughly. Profit takers, yeah. Yeah, we got some profit takers. We got above that price briefly, but as soon as we started getting back down and just not really holding it, there was nothing really stopping us from coming back down to that prior VPOC that was just not retested, 662.69. We got there again. We broke a little bit and then just kind of rallied right back to it, closing right above it. So 2 days ago in Slack, we were all kidding. We were all joking around about buy the dip when the most impossible market to buy a dip because it just doesn't give dips. In this type of market, that 1 day dip is your dip. So a little bit of a gap up for today. Again, still inside yesterday's candle, still inside the candle from September 22nd, so Monday. But in a bigger picture, we still have the trend is bullish, have not broken down. We still have our higher volume panic candles when everyone's like, okay, this might be the one. This is the time where we actually get that pullback and then quickly take out those candles, right? And you see it here a little bit, good high volume candle here. Took us like 2, 3 days to finally get above it there, but we're still trending up, so everything still looks good to me. I still want to be bullish. Um, I would like to see a couple days of like maybe some pullback, get some better buys. But I was buying the dip right here, right when we started to kind of come in for that retest. So I got a couple positions, held some things overnight. We'll see what happens. I mean, that is still a deep sell-off. I would have to look at for today, probably the 666.86 zone. Look to be some kind of resistance. I don't know if we could break through it. Maybe. The trend tells me we probably will. The next spot to the downside that we have to watch is 662.90, and then I think probably more or less not even at 662.90 from because now we've already hit that. So if we do pull back, watch yesterday's VPOC, I think 663.07. That would be my first sign if we start breaking through that. We've already now hit that one, and maybe we finally get that deeper pullback, a little bit deeper, but that's 661.09. Also, we our catalyst for the last year or 10 months has been when do we get these lower rates? So we started to get the lower rates. We still have a little bit of catalyst of we're probably thinking Fed might continue to lower rates at least another time, if not two, for this year. So we'll see what happens on that. But there's a bigger catalyst that actually can, in a longer term sense, keep this market alive. I was thinking about this the other day. We still haven't seen the effects of Big Beautiful Bill yet. We've seen some effects, but next year, starting in January, we will see some pretty good, decent tax cuts. When we have tax cuts, everybody will have more money in their pocket that they're not just spending to the government. And again, you could love or hate the big beautiful bill. There's things I don't like in it. There's things I do like in it. But there is a pretty big tax break, which means there's going to be extra money available for buying things, helping boost the economies, helping all the companies' sales numbers look better. There's going to be extra money for investing in stock markets. There's going to be extra money for investing in crypto. So there is a catalyst going into next year that can keep this entire market alive. But for today, for day trades, just opening inside day, you are about halfway through yesterday's candle. Not quite. I think 2 seconds ago we were a little bit closer to it. But we do have a gap and go, so some bullish sentiment coming in. We've done a small retest. And not saying we're going to break either that support or resistance for today. Maybe just an inside day candle. But I'd probably want to stick with the trend, continue to buy dips until it stops working. We have very similar look on the Qs, so nothing too crazy. But inside day, look for you got your resistance a little bit higher. So for yesterday, we threw a little support in potentially on SPY. Yesterday on Qs, we threw a little extra resistance in, and we are gapping below that one. But watch for 601.05 for some type of resistance for today, and then to the downside again. I would be looking at 597.59. The problem with that is now we've been there already. The next target, if we start to sell a little bit deeper, is 596.11. Bitcoin, BTC, USD. LAC woke up, says Bijal. Yep. And finally, some ALB is going to get some love from that news as well. You got Bitcoin, bullish engulfing candle for today. Where did we come into? Well, we got some high volume days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row. Where you have some VPOCs in this range. I would say anywhere from this 111, 387 into probably about 110, 345. So it looks like we did get a pullback. We kind of just ran right into that support. Right now, at the moment, we do have a bullish engulfing candle. We also have a little bit of resistance kind of sitting where we're at. We're slightly above it for Bitcoin, but that's 112,990. So we'll see if we can get a good day to close above it. And then next target would take us into 113,890 with potential target 114,134, but still looks like we finally broke that downtrend, and maybe we want to start to put some higher highs. If we do put a higher high, so if we start breaking through and get some candles that end up closing through 117, 196, that does look an awful lot like a inverted head and shoulders to me. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one for sure. MU had earnings, which were phenomenal earnings. They did come in last night. They beat by 5.88% on earnings per share. They also came in with an extra 97.96 million. We're pricing a lot of that in. So we did see a little bit of a decent reaction. I think we got to like 172, something like that, when the earnings first came out last night. Pulling back a little bit. MU tends to do this. But I think good reports. I think if we see a sell-off, I think there's going to be buyers waiting to figure out where to get into this thing. I don't know that we see a huge sell-off on this one, but if we do something crazy, first level to watch for, I think somewhere around this 162.89. That might even be where we got down to last night. I'd have to double check that. Otherwise, your next target probably will take you into 158.53 into 156.69. Somewhere in there, I think you start to have some buying, some consolidation if it comes down to there. Other than that, you have moving averages looking pretty healthy. We are pretty far extended. So even if we go through a little period of just hanging out, chopping back and forth, waiting for those moving averages to catch up, I do think this MU dip will be bought if we actually get one. We're not really having too much reaction today. So if you've sold calls, sold puts, you're gonna make money. If you bought them, not so much into that report. It's a tough one to buy puts. It's a tough one to buy calls, at least into that one. Puts, like, I can make a case, but yeah, good earnings. Very strong earnings from MU. We got Amazon. They had an upgrade. I think the price target they threw in was 280. Yep. Wells Fargo upgraded to 280. Primary case AWS, which a lot of people will just think of Amazon as that retail online retailer. AWS is bigger than their actual retail portion of things. So that will be and I think there was some people wanting to spin AWS off into its own entity, but so far that has not happened. But you got 280 for price target. Nice little gap on this one. It is inside day. It is a gap and go. I would see if you get a little pullback on this one. See if you get down to like this 222.68 if you're looking to buy Amazon. Otherwise, nice little push holding that 100 yesterday. And yeah, pull back a little bit, 222.62, something like that. I think get you decent risk reward, even as a swing. Maybe you're trying to get your stops to 1990, something like that for a stop. But good upgrade, nice move. Not clearing the entire day, but that is a good sign, especially if we could close above yesterday's VPOC on Amazon. Palantir PLTR. Palantir is chilling for now. It is a gap up, but it is still inside day retest gap. Looks good. Looks like it's just hanging out. You had a little bit of a bull trap yesterday, but the close was still above the previous day, so a little bit of momentum. Watch for. I'm trying to give you the high end of this one to see if we can get a break, but 183.29. I think if you get a break above that, again, lots of resistance into this 185.81. That's exactly where we went to yesterday, and looks like some profit taking came in. So again, high wave candle. Maybe we see another day or two of AMD dropping a little bit pre-market. Maybe we see a little bit of just sideways consolidation. See which way we want to go from here. Again, still pretty far extended, but looks healthy. You just got that big resistance right in front of you. Tim says my daughter paid $2.65 for gas yesterday. Pretty good stimulus. Yeah, that's not bad at all. I'd I'd travel to wherever that is because mine is mine is still not in the twos. Although for some reason I just haven't been driving that much this month where I haven't filled up all September. I'm so happy, but I probably have to fill up this weekend. So I'll report back to the current prices. Baba with a pretty big gap. You had a bull flag yesterday, or not yesterday, but last couple days, just kind of hanging out inside that last high wave candle. You had a couple of rough looking wicks that started to come in, and maybe some profit taking, kind of waiting for the next catalyst. Next catalyst came in today. They're investing $50 billion into AI. So Baba making a strong push into the AI world for China. So if you're holding Baba, I am. It is looking good. Let's go. I scrolled out this on the monthly chart earlier this morning, and on a monthly basis, I mean, this is a big, massive retest gap, so maybe some strong buying points if you get back down to 163. We've made a big push already, running into this pretty decent sized gap up. You do have some monthly resistance right around here. I don't think I'd be a buyer here. I probably would be better to sell some covered calls. Maybe I go that route. I don't know. I just hate selling covered calls into momentum when there's, I think, still a lot more upside. I think the story, especially if they get the AI under control, Bob, I think goes. I said my price target is $800, but that's over the next probable 10 years, something like that. And that's also due to some buybacks. That's also due to just some investments, China growth. But I think there's a path there. Other than that, looks really, really good. Where we've consolidated during the China is dead period from December of 2021. Really have done nothing until April, not even April, probably last 2 months, August 1st, some August. But that looks like a really good kind of S curve location. Pretty nice little double bottom. But you are opening into some monthly resistance. I think the high end of it, maybe you get 189, something if we go a little bit higher. But we will see. Eventually we'll get a pullback. Maybe today. Maybe today. I don't, like I said, I don't think I would be a buyer here. I don't think I'd be day trading bullish on Baba. If it wants to go bullish, I'm thrilled because I'm in it. But I would see probably a little profit taking into this. Again, little consolidation, probably a little fear of like, okay, what am I doing? Am I should I sell? Should I take some gains? And if they were able to hold through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, they're getting rewarded for that, and maybe they'll hit the sell button for today. We'll see. But I think this one probably fades. Although really, really good news for Baba. Bijal, what was the one you mentioned? It was LAC. Yep. This is gonna run into the lithium game a little bit, but they put out a pretty much a press release directed to the media, kind of explaining lithium a little bit better and kind of their path to making some decent gains of future of lithium. So nice little pop on this one. You're going from 307 to 506 overnight. Massive, massive move. We'll see how that one plays out. The other one that a lot of us are still holding, collecting divvies, selling calls against, buying more shares. I think Jeremy just got a couple. But that would take us into ALB, where nice gap and go for today. Again, you have a little bit of resistance right where we're opening, and then a stronger resistance, I think, around 84.44. So if we get some closing above there, I like it. But maybe that little press release from LAC could help us in that next leg up for ALB. We will see. RGTI. RGTI is looking pretty good still. Again, you do have it is a retest gap. You've had now one. I mean, I'll count this one as well, even though that's a small high wave. But you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days in a row. I think it could go higher. I just won't go with it. It'd just be without me until I see a couple red candles in a row. Otherwise, I am buying this one pretty high. But looks really, really good for a continuation. If you see some red in the account for today, where you're just giving back some of those gains if you already have it, I at this point wouldn't be too concerned because I would expect a little retrace. However, our GTI I think has more room longer term higher from here. Other than that, Marvell saying it's getting a pump. Yeah, Marvell looks depends on where it opens. Right now it looks really good. Technically gap and go from yesterday, although that's mostly inside day candle from that last green bullish engulfing candle. So some back and forth. Other than that, anything above 77.36, I can make a case for continuation on this move, which next big target would take us to about 79.09. There's a lot of resistance in the way, so on a day trade basis, I think that might be tougher. Swing trade, maybe a little bit better. But on a swing trade basis, my stop really has to be probably somewhere right below that 200, and that's $3 to the downside. So there's a lot of room to the downside before we hit that next target. On a swing trade basis, if you get into it, figure out how, you're probably looking for this $80.74 or $82.13. So there's a path to there that makes the risk reward a little bit better in a longer term perspective. But yeah, not a bad gap. The other one I was watching, and we traded it yesterday. Again, before open, we were up a little bit more, but we're still maintaining on Boeing. We are still above that 216.56. We got the close right below it, so that might add a little bit of extra trap to some of the bulls. You're opening above the price, the opening price from yesterday as well. We've made a big push early on, 219.82. We were at slightly past 1.2 and just didn't want to hold yesterday, but I'm still keeping my eyes on this one. I did buy some calls toward the low of the day yesterday as well, so I have those overnight. Probably going to continue to hold them. I think Boeing still looks good in a longer term sense. So a good high wave candle, lots of volume. If we start to get above, and the fact again for today, it is inside day. So if we pull back, watch that 216.42 like a hawk. That would be my spot. I would be very interested when you have that much high wave, that much volume on a high wave candle. You are breaking through this 216.56 zone. If we make any pullbacks, get as close as possible to that. I think you have better risk reward. It's not your confirmation is once that wick gets taken out, so somewhere around this, we'll call it 219.93 zone. That could set you up for a bigger move with that volume. Otherwise, if you're trying to buy it on a pullback, stop underneath yesterday's candle. I think that makes a lot of sense for a swing if you're looking to try to make that move in that direction. Tesla, Tessie, bearish engulfing candle, which followed a little bit of a inverted hammer. Not a fantastic open. On a day trade basis, you got a coin flip at open. You have your, I think your resistance, which probably is going to be a decent one if you can get this thing to rally, which it's gap and go. So maybe that's the potential direction out of the gate. But that would take you to like this 433.48 zone. Other than that, we did come down. We hit a nice resistance yesterday. So if you were buying off of that support, that 424.64, you would be up a little bit today. Um, if that was me, I'd probably shave some shares or sell a contract or two off and just lock in some gains and then see if which way we want to start to bounce. But looks okay. Just looks like it's hanging out. There is, I think, a little bit more bearish short-term sentiment in here. Again, not really bearish. I would say it's probably profit taking at this point, waiting for the next catalyst to come in. Otherwise, that was a good gap fill, great location, good bounce, and if it sells off, this is probably how I'd play it. If it sells off into the 424.68 zone or lower, maybe come down to like 422.34. But somewhere around that zone, I think would be your spot to look to go long on Tesla for day trade. Or if you want to try it short, you have two decent resistance at 433.60. My stop would have to be above 434.60 or 434.38. And if we can get that look, that's probably where I go short. At open at this spot, you got about a 1-to-1 risk reward, and you're taking a guess. I'd probably go with the lean in the bullish direction if I had to take a stab at that one. Open. Open came in with a downgrade yesterday, and down they did go. So now you're pretty well off the lows or the highs of Open Door. Interesting location. I think there will be another round two or three or four of buying in this one. For me, it's still a little too high. You got into your first little gap fill on open. I would like it a little bit better, testing back down to like 585, I think would be a decent shot. You still got that close below this high volume candle. This is though 1, 2, 3, 4 days down in a row. Interesting spot to open where we are back above the 20. And then more importantly, if we open, I think above $7.49, you might see some bulls try to nibble at this one a little bit, but in a longer term sense, I think I would rather the gap fill 638 and realistically like 615 all the way down to 585, something to that extent. So I don't think I'd be a buyer here quite yet for me. I could see why some of you might want to buy this up. For day trade, if we get a good setup, great. But watch that open and already would kind of just break it through that pre-market as well. Let's see what else we got. We got open LAC SE. SE. It's a little retest gap, not a fantastic close yesterday, but still okay. Right into the spot I would watch for is 185.04. It looks like we are slightly below that at this point. I think it wants a deeper pullback. I think if you want to buy this thing, SE, you're probably looking at 179.73. Somewhere in that zone, down a little bit. Does not look like a strong open for today. Although it's a retest gap. So watch resistance 185.86. That's probably the spot closest possible to that to short. And I think that's your best risk reward on that if you were trying to play to the downside. But I probably needs to pull back a little bit more on this one. GM. Yeah, I think didn't they just get an upgrade this morning? It was like right before I hopped in. General Motors is negotiating a $2.26 billion loan. Oh, there you go. So they got a loan for Thacker Pass lithium project where it owns 38%. The project aims to lithium all over the place today. Okay. Yep, and then they did have that price target raise as well. So $56 to $81. That's a big move. A little bit of a gap and go. You have, I think, one slight resistance right above you. If we close above $6.26, there's no volume really holding you back. And yeah, it could get that continuation. Probably a little chop at open, maybe a slight pullback, but that is a pretty good looking gap and go for GM, I would say. Now AMD flip sides, and AMD is going. I'm just watching the other screen going crazy. I have like this screen that you guys are watching covering my TOS, so I only see like two tickers, and one of them just happens to be AMD. UNH upgrade. They were looking slightly better, but nice little pump for today. You got your next target, I think, into this 353.37. AMD continuing. 353.64, something like that would be your next resistance. This is an inside day candle. I think if you're looking to scoop a couple shares, you're looking at 348.70. So see if you get a little pullback on that one. Since I'm looking at AMD on the other screen, let me pull it up on the daily. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see where our resistance next big target 165.89. At the moment, that's a good spot. If we open there in the next, we got roughly 2 minutes, slightly under. But yeah, if we can stay above 162.95, if we start coming down, look for that full on retest. That might get you into this 161.91 zone, but it looks decent. And then you got your next resistance on this one, next close resistance, 163.87, but it's holding up fairly well so far this morning. So not too bad. Coin, take a look at that one. Coinbase, a little bit of a gap and go for today. Again, not fantastic that you're below this candle, but the picture that I'm planning for at least is that we were getting something like this. We get this pullback, and then the next push, maybe we could break through that 351. So for right now, again, not great that we're below this candle. I think there's going to be a little bit of resistance. Bitcoin, I don't think, well, bullish engulfing candle for today for Bitcoin, so not bad. But I think a little bit of resistance, probably around this 325 zone, slightly higher, 325.80. Other than that, all we really did was kind of come down and retested that last little support. So I did buy some more calls here, just following my plan, and we'll see today they'll be up a little bit. Um, I also had some from 328, so they're probably still down a little bit. These ones a little positive, and if we want to hang out here for another couple days, I'll continue to add to Coinbase because I think we're in the right environment too, which is positive, but we will see. Other than that, that morning bell is just about to ring. So, everybody in the YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you've not done so already.